the playing skills of PGA professionals. The PGA Senior Professional Player of the Year Award was first presented in 1995. It combines performances in both senior and regular PGA of America events, as well as tour events, along with Section Player of the Year points. The 2011 recipient is one of the steadiest and most successful players to come out of the Georgia PGA section. He is a great example of the playing skills of PGA members, and he's certainly no stranger to this stage. Let's look back at another stellar season for River Pointe Golf Club's Sonny Skinner.
Oh, just give me something to believe in.
Sonny, Southern gentleman. He's from a small town, Sylvester, in South Georgia. If you ever go by there, if you pull in, it says, "Welcome to Sylvester, home of Sonny Skinner."
The PGA Senior Professional Player of the Year for the second consecutive time, Sonny Skinner has long felt the support of his hometown. Even closer to his heart, his father, who was his inspiration and who passed away before the season.
This year's been a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. You know, thankfully I've got a tremendous support group around me. My mother. She left me a message earlier this year, and I've never erased the message. I listen to it quite often. You know, I think about my dad every time I'm on a golf course. You go through life and you wonder why you do things. And I do realize that a lot of my golf over the years and my love for it is because of my dad.
Sonny has dedicated this year to his dad's memory, and there was one occasion that I believe he registered not under Sonny Skinner, but under his real name, his father's name, Henry Skinner, Jr.
Although the PGA Cup did not count in the PGA Senior Professional Player of the Year point system, the 2011 matches were also a highlight for Skinner.
Sonny is a great player. He keeps himself in good shape. He works out. He works on his game constantly. At 51 years old, to have him clinch the winning point was really exciting.
Sonny is a tremendous competitor. He is never going to give up, and he can scratch out a good round no matter how he's hitting it.
In 2011, Sonny was a low club professional in the Senior PGA Championship. What made him successful there, I believe, was the fact that he did not want to be beat by any of his fellow PGA professionals.
This year, it was a great battle between him and I, and he ended up winning again this year. So now that he's done it 2 years in a row, he's been really happy about it, and he's just such a competitor. He continues to strive to be at the top.
We all got into this because we love to play, and I certainly did.
Congratulations.
You're the low pro.
Congratulations. It's my privilege to present you with this crystal ball for your accomplishments this week at a major.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonny Skinner.
Well, I tell you, I'm extremely humbled to be standing here before you and to be a part of the awards winners that you're going to see tonight and hear from. Alan Ranowski, Ted Bishop, Derek Sprague, to my captain Jim Remy, to my former captain Brian Whitcomb, to our sugar daddy, I like to call him, Mr. Joe Steranka. Gentlemen, I can't thank you enough for all that you have done for me, not only supporting and encouraging me, but for what you do for our organization, promoting the playing of this wonderful game of golf. To the Georgia PGA, Mike Paul, Pat Day, and speaking of the Georgia PGA, Mr. Craig Stevens, who you saw up here, who is equally deserving to be standing here today. And I know, Craig, we enjoyed the competition, but the thing I value most is our friendship. And speaking of Georgia, we talked earlier about Mr. Jim Huber. Anytime I heard Jim's voice, I would just stop in my tracks and I would just, where's it coming from? I knew a good story about golf was going to be told. Yes, it's sad that Jim Huber is not with us anymore. But you know, Jim Huber had a talent, and he shared that talent with tens of millions of people. And every single one of us is better off because of Jim Huber. And that, my friends, is a good thing. So let's keep our spirit up. To River Pointe Golf Club, especially the owner, Mr. Jos Beckers, and to our membership for the opportunity to go and to play in all these events. I thoroughly enjoy it, and thank you for allowing me to represent you. To Cleveland Golf Strixon, I know for a fact I've become a better player through the efforts of Chuck Theory and Rodney McDonald. And I know that it's all because of the work that you've done at Cleveland Golf Strixon that's allowed me to elevate my game just within the last 6 years. Where were you 20 years ago? To Divots Golf Apparel Company, Mr. Bobby Friedman. He's been a supporter of the PGA of America and the Georgia PGA for over 35 years. Bobby, I will be your partner anytime you want. To my friends, Les and Beth Littlejohn, and to my good buddy Rick Bellinger that you saw on the video that's caddied for me a number of times. And Rick and I both have a lifelong friend, Mr. Doug Hessel, I want to give a shout out to back in Charleston, South Carolina. To my family, my Aunt Linnell, my sister Leanne, my mother Sarah, to my loving wife Algina, and our bundle of joy Marley, just thank you for always being there for me. But at this moment, my mind just keeps going back to a couple by the name of Fred and Louise Long, a family that we made friends with when we moved to Sylvester back in 1968. They had a daughter named Karen that was friends with my sister, and they had a son named Mike that unfortunately also died in a tragic accident. And even though his parents mourned the loss of the life of their son, they still had the kindness in their heart and they still had the respect for the game of golf to take Mike's golf clubs and give them to me, a 10-year-old boy, in hopes that I would enjoy playing golf with my dad. And oh, how I did. And those memories are as fresh in my mind tonight as they ever have been. And rightly so. I've said a lot about my dad, but this one example of how a conversation we had, and I asked my dad, I posed the question, Dad, did you do with your life what you always wanted to do? And he said, son, I fell in love with your mother, and all I've ever wanted to do is wake up and love your mother and have a family and be there for your sister and for yourself. He says, and I am doing that. And what a wonderful thing for a son to hear his father say. And then he added, the only way my dad could, he says, you know, even though I've taught your mother everything she knows, son, if it wasn't for your mother, I wouldn't be worth 10 cents. You know, my mother spoke of I did, of the message she left me over a year and a half ago. I wouldn't erase it. And I know it's because of that message that I was able to give more of myself every time I played around in competition. So it is to you, Mom, that I dedicate 2011. You've always had a way of encouraging me like a good mother does. It's in honor of you, Mom, that I accept this award from the PGA of America, and I'm extremely humbled and proud to be a part of this organization. God bless you all, and have a wonderful evening.
Sonny, beautiful words.